Hello guys, Salty Gamer here, and today I'll be reviewing King's Game, one of the worst anime series of all time. It once had a score of below 5 on my anime list. The score is now 5, but that's still considered a terrible score. It's a laughingstock within the anime community. People couldn't believe how terrible it was, and just about everyone hated it. I read the manga for King's Game and I thought it was pretty entertaining, but the anime adaptation was a complete disaster. In this anime, the main character Nobuaki transfers to a new school after a terrifying experience at his old school. At his old school, the students there and himself had to take part in a dangerous game called King's Game. A game where students would get notifications from their phones, and in these notifications, a person known as the king tells them to do outrageous tasks. If these students refuse to do what the king tells them to do, they will be killed. Nobuaki is mentally scarred from these events and doesn't want to make friends at his new school. Soon, however, he learns that the King's Game is starting all over again at this new school. He tries to warn students there, but they all laugh in his face. This anime had a lot of wasted potential. If the anime was adapted right, it could have been an amazing anime series about students trying to survive a deadly game. But instead, this anime ended up as a laughingstock. The 3 reasons why it was so hated were because it was like 2 different anime series in one, the characters were horrible and dumb, and because it was really edgy. I could look past the edgy part because many anime series are edgy nowadays, but I can't look past the confusing plot and the terrible characters. The plot was just so awful. It was switching back and forth between adapting the manga series King's Game and the sequel King's Game Extreme. Basically, there are 3 series in the King's Game series. First, there's Origins, then King's Game, and then King's Game Extreme. You don't have to read King's Game Origins in order to understand King's Game. But the anime series were trying to adapt 2 manga series at once, which will always result in a disaster. Basically, events from King's Game Extreme would be adapted, and then it will go back to adapting events from King's Game. So first we see Nobuaki participating in his second King's Game for a short while. But then there's a flashback to what happened in the first King's Game they took part in. It just keeps going back and forth, and it's difficult to get emotionally attached to characters and actually care about them. It did the same mistake as the anime Tenjo Tenge. The most reasonable thing they could have done is just adapt the first King's Game that Nobuaki took part in, and leave the second King's Game for Season 2. If the anime studio did not think it was going to get Season 2, then adapt the first King's Game in 12 episodes, and adapt the second King's Game in the last 12 episodes. So basically a 24 episode season. It just seems like a simple solution to all of this. I don't understand why the anime studio wanted to make this anime series so confusing. I mean, at the very worst, just adapt the King's Game manga series. Don't adapt the sequel. I just don't understand. Even an anime fan can figure out what makes sense. They're supposed to be a professional anime studio with creative minds. Is this the best it can do? Besides the anime being confusing to watch, this anime is terrible because of horrible and dumb characters. So Nobuaki warns them about King's Game. They decide to laugh in his face. And once he was proven right, they think he's behind this somehow. They don't even try to hear him out. They're actually being really hostile towards him. It's their fault for not hearing him out in the first place. Like, I can understand. If I was in that position, I would be skeptical at first. But once everything that person says comes true, I would be open to listening to what they had to say. I wouldn't be getting angry at them and threatening them. Once they realize this creepy game is actually real, one of the female characters, Natsuko, shows her true awful personality. She seems like a nice kind girl at first, but she's actually bossy, rude, and cares only about herself. She tries to frame Nobuaki for a terrible crime. So everyone around her saw how weird she was acting, and then suddenly she accused Nobuaki of a terrible crime. Rather than questioning Natsuko's mental state, they instead completely buy her idea that Nobuaki is this terrible person and must be killed. They actually try to kill him. The only person that can give them information about this horrifying game, and they're trying to kill him! I dropped this anime after episode 4. It is a horrific anime series that nobody should watch. It's not even so bad that it's actually good. It's just bad. I hate all the characters in this show. Natsuko, I don't even need to explain. Everyone knows just how terrible she is. She's just an awful girl. She's as bad as Mines from Rising of the Shield Hero. Nobuaki acts depressed and scared in the earlier parts of the show. I get that he was mentally scarred from a previous King's game, but his personality was still frustrating to watch. I'm not saying he should get over what happened right away, but he should try to move past it and try to survive this horrifying game. I mean, if nobody's listening to you, then just do your best to survive. You don't even feel really attached to these new characters to begin with, so who cares if they die? The opening and ending song for this anime series were not good. It was pretty awful to listen to. The music throughout the first 3 episodes has good moments at times. The animation style and animation looked average. This anime deserves all the hate it got. The anime studio made such obvious mistakes in adapting the anime series, and I've never seen such a dumb set of characters like these. I give this anime series a 1 out of 10. I know most people won't give an anime series worse than a 4, but this anime series was just that bad. It was just so bad, I can't remember a worse anime series like this. So that's all I want to talk about for today. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great day or night wherever you are, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and please comment if you found anything interesting in the video.